You're on.
Does the president want to welcome everybody?
John asked if the president wants to welcome everybody. John asked if he wants to welcome everybody.
Go ahead, welcome everybody.
Thank you.
This is only our second meeting in the church, so we're starting to still work the little bugs out for a hybrid meeting. But we've also made the change, just so everybody knows who's in and who's online, that this is just a fantastic general program meeting and social activity. No business is taken care of unless it's an emergency. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our host, since I've on my last day of being the temporary program person. Adam Drake is taking over, but I'd like to introduce Judy Tallur, who for me is a good friend and a good friend of the East Central Ohio Technology User Group, has spoken to us many times. She comes to us from the rainforest of Southern California, and some of that rain next week will get to us too. She's the president of the Santa Clarita Computer Group and does a lot of their presentations. She is especially connected with me as the chair of the board of advisors for APCUG. And she has about half the country under her belt, and I have a few regions under mine. She's a presenter all over the place. She's been all over the country, into Canada, Australia, and many, many different conferences that we've had. And we had her scheduled for last summer, but we had a extremely long business meeting due to the emergency of being kicked out of our old place. And then we had bad weather coming in, real bad weather. So she said, reschedule. Unfortunately, we don't have meetings in November and December, so she got pushed all the way to January. So I would like to pleased to welcome back to our screen a good friend of mine, Judy Tallur, and she's going to be talking to us about accessibility, because we're all getting old and we need to have tools to make things easier. So over to Judy.
Thank you so much, young people who are just getting old. I'm old. So here we go. I need to be able to share my screen.
You know, I got distracted today on things. My goodness.
I know you're slipping, boy.
There you go, co-host.
Thank you.
Now I can run away.
Ah, fat chance. Betty, oh, she's not there. Okay. Oops. That's interesting. Well, this will just compound that. There it is. An old thing. This is called help. Can't see, can't hear, can't touch. It's all about accessibility. And the title came from a president of a group in Southern California who has problems with his vision, with his hearing, and with his typing and touching and things like this. So I figured using that as the title couldn't offend anybody, because he has all three of these problems and he came up with the title. And I'm brought to you by APCUG Speakers Bureau because your group is a member of APCUG. And John is one of our frequent presenters to groups all around us. So accessibility. Accessible and assistive tech has been designed for the needs of many different users. And we're going to explore software, hardware, peripherals, and accessible and assistive tech to help make the computer, phone, or tablet easy for some of us to use. I did not know that one of my members was slowly but surely going through macular degeneration. And I gave this presentation to my group. And at the end of it, her husband said, "Oh, this is absolutely too cool for words. I am just starting to customize everything for Catherine." And he sent me the presentation, which is what I usually do. And off he went to customizing all of her technology. So you can create accessible documents. The North Texas PC users group got in touch with me, their program chair, and said, "We'd like a presentation on accessibility. Will you please put one together?" And I said, "Oh, of course I can." And off we went. And up at the top, you could see it's review, check the accessibility of what you have typed. And this one said, this was for our presentation on August 21, and it was a Wednesday workshop, and I got a green check mark. It said no accessibility issues found, and that was just normally the way I would have put something together. So I thought, oh, pat yourself on the back for that, Judy. And then I did keep the check mark on for keep accessibility checker running while I work. And every once in a while, I will get something that says, you know, so to speak, you can do better than this. And then I'll look into it and see, you know, what I need to change. It's file options, ease of action, access, and off you go. For low vision, you can have a monitor touchscreen. Again, everything is under ease of access. But if you'd like to use your device without a physical keyboard, just turn on the use on screen keyboard feature and off you go. You can see on my screen, the keys are very large. I could poke them with the same kind of device I would use to, you know, put a chat message together on my phone. And it's just an alternative for people with low vision. And you can use your assistive key sounds with sticky keys like Shift, Control, Alt. Very possibly it's difficult to press the Shift key, the Control key, and then tap the Alt key. You could set it so you just have to press the Shift key, lift your fingers and hands up, Control, and Alt without having to hold Shift and Control down. This is a cute mouse. It's $85. I taught tech classes to adults for over 20 years, and I come from a preschool background as a teacher director. And so show and tell was the name of the game with the little guys. And I did the same thing with the adults. And I said, if you know anybody who has a problem, you know, seeing their mouse, they can't maneuver it around, you can't, you know, it just doesn't work for them, it's all black, then you might want to think of something like this that is large, easier to move the pointer, and it's kind of in your face because it's really large, but it is pricey. Here's another one. You just hold it on the side, and where you see the little silver and black sticking up, that's where you go from there. That's your scroll. You can change the settings in your computer to any color mouse you would like. I really like high visibility green, and I tried that for a while and not very long because it absolutely drove me crazy. But I know people that change the color of their mouse pointer all the time. Not exactly to fit their outfit, but pretty close to it. Mine is always extra large and it's inverted. So I decided black was the one that I really like best after I've been using it for so many years. And it's inverted, so it is a black pointer and it is extra large. Works for me. And I like single click with everything. There's many people new to computers, or they've just like no longer quite have the ability to double click. Well, I like single click. So the first thing I do when I set up somebody's computer is I change everything to single click. And you also can slow down or speed up your cursor speed. And later on, we can make it larger also. And so if you want it, again, I can't see the pointer. I never could find it on my screen. Make your cursor speed slower so they can actually track it. Factory settings, I completely customize my Windows software, whether it be 10 or 11 at this late date. And sometimes the factory default can be too fast, or, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. The mouse pointer, everything moves so slow. Come in here and speed it up for them. Do they not like they're scrolling several rows at a time? They can only read one row at a time. You can change that too. And this is where you could slow down the double click speed if you want to keep it as double click or not. You can also, of course, if you have somebody who's left-handed and they're just starting out with computers, you should let them know that they could take that mouse and put it on the left side of their keyboard and use their left hand as usual. My whole entire career since the 80s, I have only seen one person who has done that. Here's where you can check it. This is a different place to check your pointer speed. And again, having problems seeing the mouse, you can display the pointer trails. And when you move your mouse, a series of little trails of little mice pointers go below that and go across the screen. Back in the day when people started giving presentations all the time, many people thought when they gave a presentation, they should turn the mouse trail on, and it drove the people who were watching it crazy. So we all thought, well, that's not such a good idea after all. High visibility might be best. Bill James loves high visibility. I don't like it. Mainly, I don't like black. But if you have it the regular way that your operating system ships, try changing it to high, contrast and see if you like it. The one on the right is set at 125%. That is my standard. That has been my standard for many years. The 100%, that's fine for people with really sharp eyes. I have bifocals, which leads me to, I wear single vision computer glasses, and 125% just makes everything brighter, everything bigger, makes the text bigger, the whole 9 yards. It's just easier for me to use my computer. And it's been like this when I wasn't really old. And there's 175%. With this, you're going to be scrolling back and forth from one side of the screen to the other to see everything. And here are the start menus for Win 10. And mine is the one in the middle. And this does look boring compared to high contrast, but again, it's what I've always used, and that's mine in the middle. And these are the icons, small, medium, and large, your choice. Again, they take up room on your desktop, but what we're looking for is what people can see best of all and easy without squinting, without having to take their faces and put them close to the monitor. And mine is 125, second from the bottom. And you can make your text bigger. Again, to suit your eyes. Everybody's eyes are different. And just because it comes the way out of the box, so to speak, it doesn't mean that's the right way for you to use your computer. You can use the magnifier, something that I have never mastered, and you can turn it on, you can turn it off, and it changes on 100% is default. You can go up however you want with the plus sign, bring it back down to 100% again. And all kinds of shortcut keys to turn that on and turn it off. Control Alt Space Bar shows the entire screen. Control Alt M cycles through the different views. And it says use these and all kinds of shortcut keys. So if I was going to use this, I would snip that information. I would put it into my word processing program and, you know, probably make it up to 16 point. So it was really easy for me to look at as I'm typing, and I would print it out and just put it above my keyboard, between my keyboard and my monitor, until I memorized the shortcuts. And here is the same thing. Here's normal, 100% on the left, 200% on the right. And you can move your magnifier all around your screen to magnify just what you're interested in looking at. One of my members years ago said, "Hey, Judy, I've got a tip for you. I'd like to know if you know about this." And I said, "Okay, John, go for it." And he says, go into view and click on zoom and choose page width. And I thought, okay, I have used this ever since. That is one of the best tips that anybody has given me. It fills the whole, I call it 8.5 by 11 page on my screen. And it absolutely is fantastic. You can read everything all at the same time. You could scroll down, because I use Arial 12. And the fun thing with this is some people say, well, I use like Arial 14 or Times Roman 14 or 16. And then when I get ready to print, I have to change the document back to 12. And that way you never know if you've got a 2-page document or a 1-page document. But if you do page width, and you print it, it prints out perfectly with 1-inch margins all the way around, if that's the size margins you have all the way around. I love this. Once you save your document, the next time you open it up, boom, there it is. It's in the entire page. And it's just way cool. And I use Word and PowerPoint continuously, and it just makes everything a breeze to see and use. So here's a Word document. There's there's my meeting announcement, and here it is with it larger. This is not what they got in the email size, but there's a difference between Arial 12 and page width. Or have 2 monitors. Every time John says he has 2 monitors, now I believe 3, I say, please don't say that, because the way my setup is in my family room, looking out my slider to the canyon on the other side, etc., I don't have a place for a second monitor. But if you have a place and you don't want to buy another monitor, you have a small TV sitting around somewhere, use it. And this one's a 32-inch TV that was in one of my kids' rooms. And I changed it to font 60, and it works beautifully. Here's my setup. You can see why I don't have room for it. But if you want to make your workspace brighter, get one of these circle lights that people use for giving presentations. Podcasters use this kind of a thing, and it brightens up everything. It brightens up you when you're giving a presentation, but it's just a nice light to use. And I have it straddling my laser printer, and the paper just flows right between the legs with no problem. You can make it as a cool light, that one. I prefer the warm light, so that's what I have mine set at now. But again, it just makes everything so much more clear. I have another one that sits on a little printer stand, so that sits on top of my desk next to me, and it doesn't do anything like the low vision one right here. You can also turn on a narrator. Describes what's on your screen. You can use the information to navigate your device, control it by your keyboard, by touch, mouse, 30 options to customize. If that's something you would like, Windows has it there for you. And you can also talk to your computer. It recognizes your voice. It says, welcome to speech recognition. And you can control your computer by your voice. And Windows key plus Control plus S, and you just start talking slowly, and it works. 99% of the time for me, it has exactly what I say. They recommend a headset microphone like John uses. I just use my webcam microphone. And they have a sentence that they would like you to use, so your computer learns to recognize your voice. And it's got some microphone tips for you. And it says you can improve the ability by allowing the computer to review documents and email in your search index. The computer is going to learn words and phrases to better understand you when you speak. It's just like now, oftentimes when you type, I'm in Gmail, Gmail can complete my sentence for me because I will use the same. My emails are mostly, to you guys, the technical groups and stuff like that. And it just picks up what I normally use and types it in front of me. It makes it quite easy to compose documents and emails. Windows 11, it's got a whole area under Vision for everything, just about everything we just talked about. And that's their accessibility screen. And if you have low hearing, ease of access keyboard show a warning message when turning it on. You can use the toggle key for toggle keys, numlock, and sticky keys. And if I accidentally touch my caps lock key, I get a high beep. The same with my numlock. I have long fingers and sometimes they go too far, especially with the caps lock. And I appreciate not typing along, not paying attention, not looking at the screen. And, I'm admiring the view and I look at it and everything's in capital letters. And then I need to go back and select it all and change it to sentence case or all low caps, whichever applies. But if I accidentally touch that, I get a beep and I can look and I can immediately touch it again and off I go in the correct case. Same thing with your numlock. You either get the numbers or you start getting home, page up, page down, exit, etc. I get a beep when I accidentally touch that too. So closed captions. Those are always handy. Again, it's in ease of access and you can change them to look like anything you would like to. And I set it up in Chrome. Chrome 3-dot settings, accessibility, caption preferences takes you, oh my gosh, look at that. It takes you to Windows closed caption setting and then you set it up from there. Firefox requires an extension, and of course, it's easy peasy with Edge since that's a Microsoft product. But 3-dot menu with Edge, and off you go. We attach speakers to my laptop at every one of our meetings. We're a Zoom group now. And so we always wanted to check to make the sure that the speaker was correctly, in the correct place, turned on, everybody could hear it. So we went up to YouTube and all my members went, oh no, do we have to listen to that song again? And we got to listen to a few bars of Take My Breath Away from Top Gun, my favorite song. And not all videos are set up for closed caption. And so you're stuck with nothing, or it automatically pops up. And then you can say, I don't want to see the words. I know the words. I don't need to see the words, whatever. And you can turn it off. And then you can turn it on again if you want to. But that's Chrome and Windows working together. And conferencing apps with closed captioning, those are all the apps. Zoom was the last person, as far as I know, to have easy to use closed caption. They used a third-party service at the beginning where you assign somebody at your meeting to be the person responsible for that. And they actually had to type in what the people were saying, which I would think would be incredibly difficult to do. But the first time Microsoft Teams, I attended their meeting, closed caption was good to go. And so I was ever so glad when Zoom finally got on board and got something that worked automatically when you turn it on. And with your hearing, do you have one ear that's better than the other ear? Well, instead of using both speakers, change it from right ear to left ear, so to speak. And that can help. You don't need it in the middle. You just need it, better for the ear that you hear better with. Well, you can change it so it works for you. Windows 11 has a hearing link, and those are the 3 areas where you set everything up. And that's what the screen looks like. Dexterity and mobility, they have one screen. What is the difference between 10 and 11? This is the difference. This is just, there's not any icons that you see or any place. It's just you click on what you want to do. Using your screen reader with the Windows 11, again, that's the thing. And you can talk to your screen, your computer will talk to you. So we got your smartphones. iDrive, when I did this, I had a Pixel. I love my Pixel. But as I put this together, I realized that iDevices, Apple phones, etc., all have better accessibility options, right? They come right with the phone. You don't have to go to the Google store and download something. Now, we had a presentation by Jerry Rogan, who did health apps on an iPhone, and Bill James on a Samsung, and they were comparable. I didn't have a Samsung. Up until my Pixel, I just had an ordinary, Android phones, but never a Samsung, not that expensive. So you can, customize your iPhone to beat the band, settings, control center, customize controls, and you got your accessibility, your magnifier, your hearing aids, guided access. They have deals with, compatibility with some hearing aid manufacturers. To get to the accessibility shortcut, you triple click the home button and so on. But you can have voiceover. Hear what's happening on your screen, navigate your screen through a Bluetooth keyboard or simple gestures on a screen or trackpad. VoiceOver plus Braille gives descriptions in Braille and makes working Braille easier and more efficient. You got your magnifier. Okay. Speak screen, reading aloud to you. Zoom, making things larger. Decrease your on-screen movements if you have shaky hands. Audio, watch movies with detailed audio descriptions of every scene. If the dark mode is for you, you can have your phone set up in dark mode. Siri can complete the tasks you do every day. Hearing aids and sound processors designed specifically for the iDevices. They have headphone accommodations, sound recognition, listens for and alerts you to certain sounds and alerts such as a fire alarm or a doorbell. Live Listen helps you have better conversations in loud places, like when you're out to dinner and it's a noisy restaurant because it's one of the high ceiling ones that came into being a few years ago. Well, this lets you hear your table people better. Sensory alerts, vibrating, visual, incoming a call, LED light flashes, or displays a photo of the caller. A gentle tap every time a notification comes in. Again, you can have the mono audio playing both audio channels in both ears. Real-time text sends your text message as it is being composed. You can use a finger to scribble letters on the display and it turns into typed text. I think that's way cool. Then closed caption, the noise app, the spoken content, voice control, easily interact with your favorite apps. You can navigate with just a single tap. Back tap opens a favorite app. Assistive tap, pincher tap doesn't work for you. Swap them with a gesture that does, or you can create a touch that's all your own, something that works for you. On-screen accessibility, custom shortcuts for commonly used words or phrases, dictation, talk wherever you would type. And that's the ever popular predictive text, like you get with Word, I get with Gmail. That's my main program for email. And here's connecting hearing aids to Android devices. And here's a link to Android accessibility. So we have software and accessories. There's the yellow keyboard. It's absolutely fantastic for people who are losing their vision or have semi-lost their vision. This is what the president of the group that titled this presentation uses. And there's a gaming computer and it's backlit. That helps many people. And they don't have to cost an arm and a leg. I got mine for show and tell, the yellow one, at the Braille store in downtown LA. And it was quite pricey. And I went into a senior center tech lab every Thursday at 1 o'clock and made sure that the network was up and running. I taught classes if needed, helped people with stuff, so on and so forth. And one of the guys that came in was losing his vision. And he said, oh, I said, I use my computer all the time. I just don't know what I'm going to do. And I said, what kind of keyboard do you have? And he says, well, I just got a keyboard. I said, okay. And so I said, be back up here next Thursday and I will bring my, Braille keyboard in. And that got him a year and a half more of being able to comfortably use his computer, which I thought was just way cool. So you guys might not need these things, but you might know people who do need something like this. And you have the, knowledge to pass it on. And said president, name the presentation again, he uses his Chromebook. Well, Chromebook keyboards are different than Windows keyboards. And of course, he was having a big problem looking at them because they weren't yellow keys. So he went on Amazon and he searched, and by golly, they had the sticky keys. So that's, the one on the left there. And on the right, he's put the yellow stickies on the keys that they have. And then on the lower left-hand side, he's got some shortcuts for himself. And that made all the difference in the world to him, was to be able to easily see the keys on his Chromebook. And it's white, not that much bigger than a regular. That's my Logitech keyboard. I use a Logitech 320 wireless and have for 1,000 years. They're not that much larger, but look at the difference of being able to see those huge letters on the keys. It makes all the difference in the world. Dragon Home, that was something that people used as accessibility software. They got in touch with me 1,000 years ago and said, could you get 50 people to review this software? And I said, sure I can. And I reached out to all the editors, APCUG editors, and said, do you have somebody in your group that would like to review this? And all they have to do is send them the review. And I got 48 people. And I thought, what am I going to do with these other 2 copies? And so I gave them to our local senior center. And the gentleman who does the technology class for the hard of seeing people has been using it ever since. He's just updated it every time another update comes out. And to this day, he still loves it. And I got back maybe 35 reviews, and I guess that was enough for them. Never did get the rest of them. But it's $200. And Bill James from Ohio has a friend with low vision that he deals with, and she used that till it priced her out. So he then went into and using this presentation, customized everything for her. And she loves all the customization that you can do better than Dragon. But I found this screen magnifier on Amazon, and it just hooks to your flat screen. And again, it's if you go up to a 24-inch widescreen, it's $131. This is a 2022 presentation, so it's probably more expensive than that. But just another alternative for being able to see your screen easier. Hearing aids and Bluetooth, they help you stay connected to both types of phones, TVs, tablets, and any other audio device you have. And of course, Apple has patented a specific Bluetooth connectivity with hearing aids, and they can communicate directly with your iPhone, your iPad, your iTouch devices without using a lot of battery power. And it's trademarked as made for the iPhone. I know 2 people who use this. One of them is a real estate broker who is on the Senior Center Advisory Council. And the other one is the president of the Southern California group. And they absolutely love this. And Jim said, note, please add, don't ever lose the charger. And you can switch between your laptop mic versus a webcam mic for speaking. Use a smart TV monitor speakers, also work with it, the whole 9 yards. And that's what it looks like. You wear it around your neck. You get a wireless headset. Both of them use the one that hangs around your neck. They work with phone conversations, the whole 9 yards. You can hear Skype calls and music in stereo. And I thought it was very interesting because the real estate guy has absolutely no knowledge about technology in any way, shape, or form. So I'm assuming that the doctor he went to for his diagnosis recommended this. And of course, Jim is 100% technology oriented, and he came upon this himself. Here's different Bluetooth headphones and microphones, noise canceling, cell phone, laptop, tablet. You can get sound from that. You can wander around, but don't go further than 33 feet. And that with the Opticon, Jim said the same thing. You have to realize in your house how far you can walk around before you lose, the ability for it to work when you're online. And it's got Siri and Google Assist buttons and multimedia controls for volume. And here's other Bluetooth headphones and microphones. So there's all kinds of stuff out there as a peripheral that helps. A lot of us use these kinds of things, but there's a ton and a half of stuff that will help people who need the accessibility options. With Chrome and Edge, you can turn on live caption, your caption preferences, like I said, show a quick highlight on the focus object, navigate pages with a text cursor, all kinds of things you can do with that. And this is one thing, this is my, thing. The first is 100%. Heat is your phone's worst enemy. Modern smartphone highs, blah, blah, blah. Down below is when you turn up your screen to 150%. Mine's at 125. What else would I have it at? So everything works the same. So that's just to show you the difference. And there's all kinds of ways you can customize your Chrome browser. It can read to you. You can read to it, talk to it, and so on. This is Microsoft Edge, 100%, and the same article, 125%. Which one is easier to read? You choose. And you can change this type style, you can change the colors, you could highlight the nouns, the verbs, whatever. Why you would want to do that, I haven't quite got a clue, but you can do that. And with Microsoft Edge, you have 1.5 tons of things that you can change. Again, there's the nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. If you're looking for, I'm not really sure what verbs are, you could slide that over to highlight all the verbs in an article, if that was something you needed to do. So I just answered my own question. You can change the text size, fonts, and there's 100% and 150%. And I have 1.5 tons of resources that go along with everything I talked about. Are there any questions?
If you're in the church basement, you can ask the questions from down there wherever its microphone is. If you're online with us, you can always raise your digital hand so we know you got a question, and you can ask her about any other accessibility questions you might have.
And I do have to say that after I put this presentation together, I realized that on my own, I had been customizing the accessibility options, not calling them that, but just changing them to what worked for me. And I would, if I set up a computer for a senior, I would say, okay, here's out of the box, so to speak. This is what I use. Which works better for you? Oh my gosh, the larger font size. Oh, I can see the mouse now. So I didn't realize actually what I was doing. It was just what was comfortable for my eyes. And I've worn glasses since I was in elementary school. So.
Yeah. Judy, have you found that those of us, or not those of us, people who want bigger and bigger monitors and screens are finding it harder and harder to read because of the resolution? So you've got to go in and change those things?
I haven't heard that from anybody, but I am up to a 27-inch now. And I thought, how long is it going to take me to get used to this? I was moving up for a 21. For years, I had a 17-inch laptop, Toshiba, and that worked for me just fine. And it would work today, but I don't need to take a laptop anyplace. And I thought, oh, it's going to take me days to work with this. It took me about 15 minutes. And I was comfortable using it. There was no difference than a 21-inch.
Good. Because I, like on my big one that I have, everything is so much smaller on the screen that I've definitely had to crank, my browsers up to, more than 125, like up to almost 150.
Wow.
And I've definitely, have my standard at about 125. But it's just because with the larger screen, the pixels are smaller, so everything gets reduced, even though it's 100%. It's all relative.
Well, now what size is your largest monitor?
32.
Boy, that was a quiet 32, wasn't that?
Yeah, well.
Okay, well, see, I'll never get to that. 27 with my desk setup here is the largest I'm ever going to get to go.
Yeah, well, I had to get a new table to do this one, and it was a Christmas gift, so I could have a big gaming computer
Right.
screen.
But when I did have the setup in Lori's room, to this day, there'll always be Lori's room. She's been married for 30 years. I did broadcast it onto a 32-inch TV. And I really, at the time, I wasn't paying attention to it. So I didn't go, ooh, that's all fuzzy looking. So that's interesting. But again, I wear computer glasses.
Anybody there in the audience at the church have questions?
Oh, teachers love questions.
Anybody online with questions? David DeRoff, I hope this is information that will help your friend that you thought would really need to hear this.
And as I say, if you learned one new thing, to me, it's always worth my while if I learn at least one new thing. More than one thing is fantastic. So I hope you guys all learn something that you're going to go home and say, I'm going to set my computer. I'm going to customize it in this one area.
Excuse me, Mary Frances.
Hi,
Yes,
Mary
Mary
Frances.
Frances.
How are you?
I am satisfactory.
I love that.
Actually, I feel terrible. I'm just telling you, I'm satisfactory.
Okay.
Listen, just because I am not asking any questions, just because I don't have about 14 notes here, I know how to go ahead and look back up what I want to hear more about. Everything you have presented has to be a little bit helpful to each one of us in a different way. It has to be. So thank you for continuing with your patience and offering us information. We need it. We need it badly.
You are always too cool for words, lady.
And
Absolutely.
I will let everybody know too that Judy will send us the slideshow so that we'll pass it out, and then that way you can go back and review and go to some of those links and get even more details.
Good, good, great.
Anybody else?
Did anybody go to sleep?
I can see them moving around.
Oh,
down
she
there.
shrugged her shoulders to let me know she's awake.
I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Did it work for you, Nancy? Was everything okay?
Well, it was okay. It's just I don't understand it. Some of
Oh, okay. John, you got a newbie there.
Oh, John knows.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn things back to the live people. And
We are not dead,
no,
okay?
we're not. Yeah. The live in person. And for those who weren't at the executive meeting, I'll let you know that, not at the executive meeting, at the general business meeting, which was last week, that we now have a new vice president program chair. And that's Adam Drake, who's kind of turning around and waving. Adam will be taking over the role of introducing speakers and scheduling speakers. So if you have ideas for topics for our meetings, please get with Adam and say, hey, we'd like to know more about this, that, or whatever. And
Hello, Adam from Mary Frances Rouse.
Hey,
I-
long time no speak.
I think we need to give our membership at just the whole membership. think we need to give them some more elementary education, is how to go on Zoom, how to navigate Zoom once you get inside there. I had 3 questions. I told you this, that during this past week. Well, okay, we finally got them to access Zoom, and then they couldn't find participants because it wasn't showing at the bottom of their screen. When I finally showed them how to find participants, and they clicked on it. Then they couldn't figure out how to change their name on it. We got through that part. Then they wanted to know how to get rid of that screen when they didn't want to see it anymore. I talked them through that. Evidently, some people or many people don't have a natural inclination to search out these tedious little things, which are very important. I just think we should make a big deal out of announcing to our membership that on such and such a day, the program for information is going to be all things Zoom. Come and see, come and watch, come and ask, come and learn.
Hey, we just happen to have somebody in the Speakers Bureau that gives that presentation. And he's got this little penguin looking over his shoulder, and he just got the name for his presentation. Did you get that, John?
We've had that before, but we can do it again.
Is that the name of your presentation?
Not mine, it was Kenneth's.
Oh, okay. Well, steal his name.
But he didn't give as many tedious details as I just mentioned. I know you would because you understand Mary Frances.
It's a matter of, we're ready for the second level. Getting on to Zoom is one level, navigating it is another level. So
It's
yeah,
like, yep. There you go. What's your program chair's name?
Adam Drake.
Adam. Write that down on your mental list because you cannot hide from me, okay? I'm a mother and teacher.
I made a note already. I put it
Thank
over
you.
there.
Thank you. John, would you do the Speakers Bureau list being sent to Adam?
Yep.
Mine, so he can just read it like, what everybody does? Or sending it then out to all of your members?
That's the plan for this year.
Outstanding. I love that plan.
Give them a chance to see. All right, so Jim, back to you.
Okay, I guess we're going to do the drawing. I think you set up to do that. You ready to do it? Getting closer, getting close. Okay, well, he's ready then.
Jim, we might want to, as David's getting ready, let him know that according to my list, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people that are at today's meeting that are getting an extra drawing ticket because they attended the business meeting. So if you attend the business meeting, if you're a non-executive committee member, non-members get an extra ticket by attending the business meeting, plus a ticket for attending today's program meeting.
Good incentive.
Mhm.
Is there anyone at the meeting today that's newer or has always hesitated to ask Mr. Roush exactly how do I win these tickets, or how do I know what I get when you call my name? Is there anyone for any questions for Mr. Roush while you're waiting?
He's pretty busy. You're putting him on the spot.
Yeah.
He can take it. He puts up with me.
Need a hand?
Okay, there we go. The Amazon Fire TV stick.
Ooh,
I had a pack of paper, thumb drive, pens, and glue.
was that an all-in-one or individual
Yeah,
ones?
these are all in one.
Oh, yay, I like paper.
You do.
Number 3, 6048 thumb.
Ooh,
Trouble hearing him.
he said a 64-bit thumb drive.
And a mug with surprise inside, stainless steel mug.
Don't look at the surprise. I'm just showing the mug, not the surprise.
Yeah. You call it like that, we'll take this.
Is that what it's a minute?
Yeah, coffee.
That's what I need.
Did someone ask if Will Kern's wife was on the list? Did someone ask if David Hutchison's wife was on the list?
Now, Will and David knew to add their names if they were watching today.
It's okay for the wives to win something.
Mhm.
For family membership?
So do we have husband and wife on the same long line?
Not that I'm aware of.
They didn't sign in with their. So is Nancy by herself?
Yes,
A for honesty.
Excellent.
Dave Hutchison just wrote, just me.
Okay, one.
Yep, he knows how to do it.
4, 5. I draw. Okay. Yep, grab bag. Okay. Got the tickets already? Nope, now we do the tickets. Oh. Okay. So you will hand those to the people here.
Including you.
Yeah, give me.
Ooh, that was just like he pretended to give it right to us.
I know, I was, my
Hand
hand
grab.
ready.
You have your hand out?
Yeah.
Here.
Hey, I won a prize when I attended one of the Prescott Computer Society's meeting in Arizona. By Zoom.
Mention that next month's meeting is going to be a really good meeting on the topic of Chromebook. What is it? What does it do? And why do you want one? Because I am now at the position of recommending to many of our club members to switch to Chromebooks, depending, on what you say you do with them. And we gave away a Chromebook as a raffle at Christmas. And I think not too many people exactly knew what it was, because it's not just a laptop. So we'll find out from Bill James next month all about that. So the next time we have a raffle with a Chromebook, more of you will get your names in there or money in there.
Yeah, and Google has also made the Chrome operating system available via Chrome OS Flex for installation on non-Chrome devices. So I mean, we consider that for an option in the future too, where you wouldn't even have to buy new hardware.
That's good. Yeah.
Look at the Chrome experience.
Put that on one of our refurbished laptops.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Linux based operating system. So
Mm-hmm.
it just gives you the Chrome experience, which is what a lot of people are down to. They don't need a big, huge multi-tool
Web.
program.
Does it work on lower computers?
Yeah, that's the ideal for it, is the lower spec stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That would give us an option for some of the laptops we can't put Windows on.
You always got Linux,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's an option for sure.
Oh, this way.
We ready?
Oh, All the students in California have if they started in junior high here, have experienced Chromebooks for 6 years before they graduate.
Yeah, same here in Licking County.
Yeah,
My children have been using Chromebooks for years.
and my two oldest went to university and used their Chromebooks the whole entire time until people laughed at them.
Nice.
Okay. You got a name on it? No name. All right, give me the number. So it's here. 276. Oh, 276. Mary Francis. Okay, Mary Francis.
What you want, Mary Francis?
You know what I like, babe?
Ooh, put the pressure back on.
What you
Yeah.
said?
Oh,
She said, you know what she likes. Oh, my God.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
You like it all. We're going to divorce court. Yeah. Like it all.
I think she wants the brown bag.
I think you want the brown bag, hon?
Whatever you think.
Don't look at me.
Whatever you're gonna do. She loves Coke. Okay, that'll work.
You.
Ooh, that one got it. That was mine.
That feels like mine.
280. Huh? 282? 282. Edward McKee. All right.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Winner.
Oh, geez. Now I gotta make a decision.
Yeah, now you gotta make a big decision, buddy. You wanna play with the fire stick? You like to play with stuff. How about that?
You have to sign in with your Amazon account.
Oh, you said you like paper, okay. Oh, I need paper. Fire TV, what does this do?
Let
Oh, you gotta have it.
stream videos like any online service, you stream your TV.
Yeah.
Fire stick.
Yeah.
No.
He doesn't wait to sign up.
That's a mug with a surprise in it, right?
Yep.
Coffee mug with a surprise. You got the
Okay.
nod. They're wrong every month.
Just for the presentation. 288.
Seems like we're favoring the in-person
Maybe.
groups.
288. Oh dear. Oh, another one, that one's blank. Huh? Oh.
One of his favorites wasn't on that one.
That's fine. $284. Will Kern.
What was the surprise?
Hey, Will,
Hey, what's left?
Hey,
Can
Will.
review what's left for Will to pick.
Oh, okay. 64 gig thumb drive. The Fire Stick,
Mhm.
Amazon Fire Stick in paper blue, a 16 gig thumb drive, and a nice fresh
How about the thumb drive?
64 thumb drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Need you to draw one.
Draw mine.
272.
So close.
Got the butt stick. And.
Is he gonna get it?
Free. Right next.
You gonna use it or you gonna sell it on eBay? Good.
I've been wanting one. Was he playing with?
Yeah.
He's a streamer.
Oh,
Yeah, we use Roku for everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
he's a
flight
streamer.
Roku's nice.
okay, that's strong.
Big money, big money. I already lost the Mega Millions.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, we all did, didn't
Yeah, you'll get another chance. 279.
we? Going once, going twice, not here.
Oh, Mr. Kern again. What?
Oh.
Oh, Kern again? Yeah.
How did he get two?
Yeah. He's in both meetings. Yeah.
Nope, he's executive committee members don't get a ticket from the business meeting.
Sherry's. He was
No,
there
he
before.
won. He won twice, didn't he, from here?
Sherry, was he already? Huh? I don't know. I don't know. We're making up rules. Hey, Will, you want to draw again?
And
Can we draw again? There's a conflict here.
yes, go ahead, draw again.
Okay. $283. Landis. Virtual.
Congratulations.
Yay, Virgil.
Please. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us for the
Don't use
fun.
all that cream paper in one day.
And I know that Jim wants to tell everybody that
Drive like that.
to add to our social time there at the church, we're looking for a hospitality person to coordinate things. So if you know of somebody who wants to, it'd be fun to have some hospitality at our meetings like we used to, but we need somebody to coordinate that.
Someone that makes good coffee.
John, what would that be? Hospitality, what would they be expected to do?
Coordinate things, being hospitable, like snacks at the meeting, kind of
that
helping
mean-
coordinate.
In bringing in food to the in-person?
Not necessarily bringing in food, but arranging for snacks.
Who's gonna pay for it?
But yeah, we'll get to that, Mary Frances. First off, we got to get a hospitality person, so. Judy has her hand up.
Yes, okay. Number one, I have family memberships and I do have to tell you that it never ever crossed my mind that they weren't individual people and eligible for prizes, both of them. And sometimes they, won everything. The other thing is the Los Angeles Computer Society has it in alphabetical order. If you are A through G, this is your month to bring goodies, your choice, just bring them in. And so on that way. And that worked out wonderfully for them. The hospitality person only needed to make the coffee. And that was it. And people loved it. One guy, he made something that was absolutely fantastic and they couldn't wait till his alphabet letter came up.
Mm.
And if sometimes you had a ton and a half and sometimes you didn't have that many goodies to eat. And that way the hospitality person, it was easy peasy again for them to do. And how about if John, do you buy your door prizes?
They a lot of times come through the ink rebate through Staples.
Okay, so many groups give Kroger's gift cards, Amazon gift cards, Walmart gift cards as prizes. And what else? I think that's it. I would suggest for your people that are at home and your people that just need a nudge is list your door prizes if you know what they are in the email that is going to be sent out each month and give them a heads up on what is available.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
I think I'm gonna stop the recording here. You can
Oh,
go
yeah,
if
sure.
you want to.